Oleg, thank you for your time. And as you
Thank
know,
you for inviting me. Yes.
welcome. And as you know that we're going to talk today about crypto currencies, central bank digital currencies, and what are your views on how it creates an impact on the community. But before we do that, could you tell us slightly more about BPC, your role in BPC, and is crypto a part of a portfolio, or is it planned, on the offerings roadmap for your organization?
Okay. Starting off with BPC, we actually operate since 1996, and we started as a typical software vendor. And currently, we're providing the payment services using our own software that we developed in-house. So from our perspective, getting into crypto is like facilitating payment rails. So we connect crypto to fiat and back. We connect to different infrastructures that require payments as a service. So essentially, there is not that much difference between how we deal with the traditional currencies and traditional infrastructure. Of course, there is a lot more standards overall, and there is a lot more regulation for the traditional currencies compared to crypto. But the thing is, from our perspective, there is not that much difference between them. It's still a payment capability that we provide. So it starts, of course, from conversion from crypto to fiat and back, and also money transfers, cross-border initiatives. Also, crypto as the technology is behind all these central bank digital currencies initiatives. So we work with governments as well, and we're pretty much aware that there is a range of technologies based on crypto that used for that. And from our perspective, I wouldn't say we're skeptics or believers. We facilitate. It's already in place and it's working, and people use it, and we just need to provide the services. Of course, about the payments, about the products that are associated with crypto, and there are also the different card products that combine several things together, like fiat and cryptocurrencies, and this progresses really quickly. And I would say, from our perspective, again, we are facilitating the payments associated with that.
Okay. Uh, I mean, we hear that some people say that crypto is not real, it is not backed by any, value-based assets. But most of the countries are defining the structure, the regulatory structure around CBDCs. Some of them have already made, progress on the crypto front. Some countries have beginning to accept that as a legal tender. So there are like divided views. What is the sort of market awareness you're seeing? What is the kind of adoption that you're seeing? What does it mean to the common person, who's used to doing traditional banking?
Well, I would say there is a lot of confusion, of course, for a common people, and I think there is a number of directions that we need to look at when we talk about crypto. Some people think that crypto could be safe haven, and this is like a new gold, and people just buying crypto to buy more crypto again. So it's about that. So are you using just an additional alternative to what currently gold is referred to? So it's something like that you may protect you protect your money when you invest in crypto. That's one thing. Another thing is that the alternative altcoins and all that, they're quickly emerging when we talk about different things that are associated with the virtual world in general. So Metaverse, virtuosity, you heard all these buzzwords everywhere. But these are the things that's typically associated with crypto as well. And if you're probably aware that Decentraland actually sells the real estate in a virtual world using the cryptocurrency they have. And most of them, of course, based on Ethereum and private and public networks based on this technology. But the thing is, this also is one of the directions where crypto helps a lot. If we take DeFi, there are lots of communities that actually need some liquidity. And of course, financing for small communities struggles with getting through the traditional process that associated with a traditional financial institution. And they see this, there is a number of opportunities that you can facilitate the crowd financing through the DeFi technologies. And you get this financing for some projects that will never go through the traditional process. And that's another direction. And of course, the central bank digital currency. Some people also think that, well, this is about blockchain, right? Actually, it's not. And a blockchain could be behind this, but essentially, the central bank digital currency is the equivalent of a traditional one, but it has more control. And some people underestimate the power of getting the control and opening, literally speaking, opening the stored value account in central bank and facilitating payments through the central bank with zero cost. So it's a number of things that the crypto and the blockchain as a technology enables. And of course, for the common person, some people really invest in Bitcoin and other currencies, and they consider them probably protecting their money. And other people just use it in NFT spaces, in these virtual worlds. They buy something, they sell something there, and of course, it's happening already. So I would say there is a number of directions that we need to look at and make it separate. So there is no the common general statement about the crypto, whether it's has any value or not, because it has value here, it has a different value there. So we need to consider these different directions separately.
Right. And you talked about metaverse, so I was just thinking that, any physical processes can be digitally twinned, and converted into a digital world. Do you see that the happenings in the world of metaverse, like buying a plot of land, will also, reverse transfer into the real world? So those kind of, live use cases, will it be applicable to the real world using cryptocurrencies?
Well, that's very difficult question to answer, because I think for the payment facilitator, we definitely see different opportunities, and there are some big ones. And as you are probably aware, that digital assets is currently a big thing, and the artistic works are being converted into the digital assets almost every day. They're currently not publicly available for trading, but there are big companies and there are huge investments that go into this space. It means that probably everything is moving into the direction to make everything virtual. And once we have some really sophisticated physical devices that you can put the helmet on, and you are in a different world there. So you need to have something there. And it has a long story, by the way, because in gaming industry, people already buy something to upgrade their avatars and their personalities and so on. It's already happening. So I would say it's a next level. And this is where the crypto will play its role. And I wouldn't underestimate it, because the virtual world might be not directly connected to the real one. And once we have everything virtualized, the virtual currencies will play even bigger roles than the traditional currencies. So it's I wouldn't I wouldn't project the bright future for the metaverse, because there is a lot of controversies currently, and we're somehow in the middle of a turmoil in terms of going through the hiking prices for commodities and all sorts of. But the thing is that the worse the real world is, the better the virtual world will be. So people will move there eventually. from different speeds. But this is where cryptocurrency will play its role of what we call currently the blood system for the financial industry right now. And this is probably will happen, but let's see.
Okay, so let's talk about the real world then. Oleg, you
Yeah,
know that a sizable population globally doesn't have a bank account, the basic bank account, right? There is even a bigger community which is underserved. They might have a bank account, but they are not being offered products and services because they are not supposed to be considered. They're not considered as a profitable customers. So with this new ways of payments and new currency formats coming in, do you see a possibility of it creating a positive impact on the community which are ignored by the mainstream financial services and products?
absolutely. Because whereas BPC actually had numerous projects when we installed the e-wallet schemes from scratch. And e-wallet scheme is a non-traditional account that is not a banking account. It has very limited set of transaction types allowed for it, and there is also set of limitations on the account itself. So you can't transact big amounts, and there is a monthly limit, weekly limit, and so on. But this is what already happening for a number of years. So we see that there is the rise of getting crypto into these schemes because crypto means less regulation. So there is a number of communities that are interested to get this uh, in inflow of financing from different organizations coming, of course, not from banks. And this is just an alternative way of doing the same thing. So if you're a small shop owner, just one person operation, a very small shop over the corner, then probably you just need to refill your shelves and you have the trade financing requirement for your business, very small business. The banks are not interested to talk to you because you are too small for them. But this decentralized financing and the crypto-based financing schemes that make it easy, make it transparent because you can track the transactions and making it automatically repayable according to the smart contracts that you develop there in a blockchain. Then everything is automated and everything is transparent. People feel safe. From the bank perspective, of course, this is very small segment. They don't see that much revenue going on, and that's why these people are overlooked and underserviced, underbanked. This, as long as we operate in about 100 countries, we see it everywhere. So it's the same problem everywhere, and crypto may solve it. Of course, people sometimes confused about it because crypto means Bitcoin for them. But it's we just need to promote the schemes that facilitate the trade financing for them and see this is the technology behind that, and they will believe it eventually. So crypto will it's possible for crypto to be enabler of this kind of trade financing for the small businesses.
So that's very promising. So, Oleg, if you fast forward that into 3 years or 5 years time, where hopefully we will have central bank digital currencies, altcoins, crypto, NFTs, all existing at the same time. What are the good use cases, in terms of again addressing the small businesses needs and individuals who are underserved? What sort of good use cases comes to your mind then?
Well, for small businesses, I'm really optimistic because they're already using these altcoins, and um, I would say that there is a number of cases already implemented, and they're more or less successful. They're not really visible because of the small amounts circulating there. So it's just the beginning. But for small businesses, I really see that this probably could be uh, the solution for the problem of a supply chain and digitalization of everything. So connecting the buyer and seller directly without middleman. So it's the same how marketplaces work when you just sell it on a e-commerce platform and you connect directly to your buyer, and it eventually it goes to the same guy who produced the something that sells that to the end user, and making the supply chain direct. This one of the examples. Another example, of course, will be the financing capabilities and for the different communities in different industries. We see that in farmers communities and fisheries. There is a huge demand in ride-hailing schemes that you just need to have the leasing scheme for the bikes, for cars that use that. So it's about that. For the small businesses, I see the bright future using that. In terms of virtual world that I already told, it's happening from a different perspective. So it will be used everywhere just to trade the virtual and digital assets and convert them to real ones and back. So this is what already happening. I'm not a big I don't have that much experience just to project in 5 years what will happen, and probably there will be more bright people talking about that. But this is what we deal with already, and we already have a customer in Switzerland that combines fiat and cryptocurrencies in a card product. So it's happening, and from my experience. There will be a set of other directions appearing that's probably not visible today, and we expect that the rise of crypto and decentralized financing and also decentralized trading could make a big difference and solve some world problems like food deliveries and food production. Also, probably some small financing for the sustainable economies when you need to have very small power, devices and so on. So it's about that. And uh, again, from the payment facilitated point of view, we see connections happening here and there. So they are already looking for the ways to make this crypto and fiat currencies work together.
Fantastic, Oleg. Really enjoyed talking to you and loved your ideas and the use cases that you possibilities that you shared. Thank you so much for your time.